Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Steampunk Stories
of AmberStreet.com here in Hollywood.
Okay, Steampunk. So I really need your opinion on this, and you gotta give me brute honesty, bro. All right. Today, Donald Trump, and we don't usually do this on the Everything Show. We usually do it on Topic Wonders, but there's a whole bunch of stuff. We're gonna do it on the Everything Show tonight. So Donald Trump had made a sixth branch of the military, the Space Force, which I guess will defend us from stuff from space and create stuff like Reagan did. Remember that whole thing you wanted to have like a Star Wars thing?
System,
right?
missile defense system.
But it's not just that. It's before we can have a Space Force, we need to have the technology to be completely overhauled and basically tons of money thrown into the budget to advance space technology.
Well, if they cut the waste and corruption out of the Pentagon's #1 problem in America today. There's so many trillions of dollars wasted through the Pentagon.
Okay.
It's not welfare, contrary to popular belief. It's the Pentagon. I mean, the Pentagon wasted $1.5 trillion on the F-35 fighter plane.
Wow.
That's never been used in the war on terror.
Wow.
And it can't even fly straight because it's not aerodynamically sound. Well, it's a stealth fighter, that's why.
Wow.
In order to be stealth, you lose aerodynamics, and it has to be computer controlled, and they've had problems with it crashing. They spent $1.5 trillion of taxpayer money.
Wow.
And decades later, this plane still can't properly fly.
So why don't they just take a couple of trillion and make the Starship Enterprise?
Well, I think you could. There was a guy, I don't know if you remember, there was a guy a few years ago who proposed that you could build the USS Enterprise like the 1960s version, and it would have everything except for warp drive, and it would have no transporters nor warp drive, but you could have shields, you could have artificial gravity, you could have life support systems, you could have phasers.
But it doesn't go fast, though.
Well, it would have impulse power.
Oh. That's why we got to get the technology, bro. We got to get them on it. I don't know what they've been waiting for.
Well, you need to find a couple singularities, then you can create a warp in space-time.
Okay. See, it's weird how...
But yeah, I don't...
This is not a joke, though. This is the weirdest thing. This is as real can be. He's actually doing this. He's making a sixth branch of the military, and we're going to be in space. He's going to go down in history as the president that just put tons of money towards the space program and had this other branch.
The problem I have with creating a sixth branch of the military, we already spend too much on the military. We already waste too much on the military. I mean, Young Turks talked about this like a year and a half ago. We wasted $500 million on the Afghan Air Force buying broken Italian cargo planes. And then we realized at the Pentagon, I shouldn't say we because I don't represent the Pentagon, but the Pentagon realized, oh, these Italian cargo planes are 30 years old and they got metal fatigue and they're unsuitable for the Afghan Air Force. Oh, we just spent $500 million. Oh, let's scrap it. Let's turn $500 million into 30,000. So only at the Pentagon can you waste $500 million or $500 million and turn it into $30,000 of scrap metal. Wow. Somebody's pocketing that money. There's too much corruption. There was. So
you don't like this news at all, though. You're not for it.
Because I feel like they're already wasting a ton of money on the military. The U.S. military can't even win a war in a third world country. They're still fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan 18 years later, or 17 years later.
Be any positives to this? You don't think that
no, I don't think it's any positive because
covering into space.
There's too much systemic corruption with the Defense Department as it is.
So you don't think this is even going to happen?
I don't think it can realistically happen. I mean,
does he have to have a vote with Congress?
Well, you're going to have to, you know, they've already increased defense spending under Donald Trump another $160 billion. I
So
mean,
they don't have to get permission or what? I mean, what's going on?
Well, no, anything financial, they're going to have to get permission. But I mean, like the Department of Homeland Security was the largest expansion of government in modern history under George W. Bush, and that had to be get congressional approval. To create a space force, we'll have to get congressional approval too. But I doubt that means that we'll be exploring. I think what the Space Force will do is it will launder more taxpayer money into the Pentagon, and it'll just get wasted, and it'll be inefficient, and it maybe have a missile defense system. But I mean,
you don't think hundreds and hundreds of years from now they're not going to say this is what started the space program? Like, really?
Well, the space program started before Donald Trump.
No, but I'm not saying not started the space program. I mean,
it started under Eisenhower.
I know. I mean, like, really, what's the word? Jump started, like, the technology or things to actually expand beyond, like, I'm talking humans in space.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna. I mean, the problem is that you're going to have to get past the Van Allen belt. Now astronauts that went to the moon were exposed to potentially cancer-causing radiation, but they were only on the moon for like a couple of weeks, so their exposure was minimal at best. But if you're going to go like to Mars or something, you're going to need to develop magnetic shielding. You're going to have to be able to, repulse the solar radiation coming from the sun, because the solar radiation is quite lethal, and you're gonna have to develop artificial gravity, which we already have, like the gravitron. You just need to build a gravitron on a spacecraft, which is possible. But the problem with building a gravitron or artificial gravity is it requires a lot of power. But you could use nuclear reactors. I mean, hell, Voyager 2, which is the first man-made object to leave the solar system, which is in the heliosphere. The heliosphere is the buffer between deep space and the solar system. It's still powered 40 years later off a plutonium reactor, which is now just starting to fail. So you could.
Steampunk Star Raisins our scientific advisor here.
Okay.
I'm not that smart when it comes to that stuff.
I've been to college. I don't have a background in science. I have a background in art.
We had our video game advisor yesterday, and today we have our scientific.
Well,
Why would you be a scientific? For us, you could be.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't need no degree for Matrix Lord 212 Inc.
Well, I want to have full disclosure. Okay. I don't want to sound like.
All right, whatever. But here's the thing. So, Scott, what we're talking about is, and this is the Everything Show. It's not Topic Wonders, because this is big enough for the Everything Show. Donald Trump had announced a new branch of the military, the Space Force. This is real. Even Sharon thought it was fake. No, it's real. He's going to create it, which she don't believe it. He said it. What? It's not happening. Why would he say it then?
So the head of it is Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda?
All right. So timestamp in. Sharon said it's not happening. She's totally against it.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll use the Space Force so that he can have a space shuttle to the moon, so that he can have a rendezvous with Stormy Daniels. Because if he's willing to waste $130,000 of campaign money.
You don't think being in this space
up there on the moon?
Wait, you don't think having this presence in space, this great empire? I mean, like, you don't think that would be a good idea?
There's a nuclear arms treaty with Russia, which is still in effect. There's a nuclear arms treaty with Russia that demilitarizes space. The problem with creating a space force is you're going to militarize space, and China has a manned space program. People forget about that. For some reason, the manned Chinese, I followed it on the internet. The manned Chinese program does not get much press coverage here. But China has a manned space program as well as Russia. And if you militarize space, then you could have like space stations with nuclear weapons. They had the technology to build to build space stations with nuclear weapons back in the 70s. And then they were like, wait, this is too dangerous to militarize space. You know, we need to demilitarize space and sign a treaty. And I feel like creating a space force, I would just say give the budget to NASA.
Why would you just call it Starfleet, damn it?
Well, we already have NASA. Why not give the money to NASA? But what I'm worried about is there's a historic and systemic amount of waste at the Pentagon. Like I said, they wasted $1.5 trillion on the F-35, which still can't fly and still hasn't participated in the war on terror. It's a very inefficient weapon that can fly without computer control. Imagine what $1.5 trillion would do for education.
Let me get Scott's take. Yeah. Let me get Scott's take on this whole
go ahead.
Shenanigans. Again, this is real though. He did come out and say it. So what do you feel about this, Scott?
Let's just put it this way: it's a punchline waiting to happen.
Like what do you mean, man? What do you mean? Like, what? What?
Like I said, who are they going to have man?
Are you going to come on too? Why don't you host?
I might have to.
You might have to host.
You are alone.
Why?
You have to host it. Actually, just come on 5 seconds. You're getting okay.
I hear the space. I hear the space.
Wait, what?
Good.
I agree.
I hear the Space Force will get their training at Trump University.
Scott, you think it's a joke? She thinks it's a joke.
Hello, you're alone, dude.
What do you mean?
Nature saw 2 and 2.
Do you realize what this could mean?
2 and 2 stand alone.
Listen, we could travel and explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and new civilizations.
You can do that every day at
Walmart. Go. Listen, we don't have Walmart. You could do that at Walmart.
Well, I mean,
it's so big, Walmart.
If you think about it,
Walmart.
If you think about it seriously, we already have NASA, which is supposed to be a civilian space agency. If this is not about space exploration, because if it was, you would just increase NASA's budget.
I know it's a space force. We're military might.
Well, it's in militarized space. I worry that it's going to be a violation of the treaty that we have with Russia. And that you're going to have.
What if we find out this aliens?
What you're going to be paying for is you're going to be paying more money for nukes on a space station, basically. And the space station will target continents, and it'll be more dangerous. You know, the militarized space is not
set up in a way. If you think about it,
I'm sorry.
They had a satellite up in space that was degrading, and the movie Space Cowboys. They sent them up there because. Come to find out, they had nuclear weapons up there, and if it crashed into the Earth, bada bing, bada boom, goodbye.
Well, here's the thing.
Because back in the 1970s, they were even talking about militarizing the moon, like putting nuclear missiles on the moon. You know,
this is not the only topic we're going to have on the Everything Show today. This is
that's
okay.
I'll relent. But I'm just saying, I think it's dangerous, and I don't think it's going to be like exploring brave new worlds like Star Trek. It's going to be militarization of space, and it could escalate. We're already close to World War III with Russia as it is.
I agree with
Steampunk.
It's just something like a backdoor policy almost to put another missile command at the pardon the video game pun there. But yeah, just another place to situate missiles and all that. And with the way people can hack things nowadays, come on.
Right.
Look at the movie Geostorm. That alone should scare you.
Well, here's the second topic. Here's the second topic I wanted to talk about tonight with Steampunk and Scott, and that is I want Steampunk's take on Chris Hardwick because of the accusations that happened. He lost, I guess, so far all the shows that he does. I mean, no more Talking Dead. Chris Hardwick.
Oh, Chris Hardwick. Okay.
No Talking Dead. No Talking with Chris Hardwick. No The Wall. No podcast. No anything. No Nerdist. There was accusations made, and now what's happening? What's going to happen to him? Like, what is your take on it? Do you think he did any of that stuff? His ex-girlfriend has accused him. Well, without naming him, she accused him of sexual assault and blackballing her career in Hollywood, and whatever. So what do you have to say about that?
I don't have sufficient information.
Ah, smart answer.
I mean, I'm not that familiar with the case. I've heard somewhat about it, but I'm not that familiar with the actor. I don't think hearsay should be enough to fire you. But
here's the thing: they are temporarily, right, Scott? He's not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was no evidence. There's nothing filed. But yeah, all these companies, AMC, NBC, they just boom.
Being tried in the social and public arena.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
something. It's a developing story. We'll have more on it, I'm sure, as time goes on. We do have other stuff to talk about besides that. It's not just that. What about what is your take now, Steampunk?
They should do an entertainment project from prison. You could have like a show co-produced by Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God! Ooh!
Behind
wow! You just right out there. Oh my God! All right.
Oh wait a minute, that would be on the border. I'm sorry. We need to come up with something else.
Okay. All right. So it's official. We just got confirmation. It's official that. Oh, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. John Bernthal, who played Shane in Walking Dead, is returning to Walking Dead. Now he's dead. So how could that be? Well,
yeah,
because Rick's gonna die. No, Rick's gonna die. So. Are they gonna have Rick's spirit, like have Shane welcome him to heaven with Laurie and Carl and everybody else that died? Are you gonna get everybody back in this one episode to say goodbye to Rick? Dale, yeah, everybody. Andrea, right? Everybody.
There was I forget
Is that what they're gonna do?
I forget the YouTube show, but they say the most shocking deaths on TV shows that you pretty much weren't expecting, and the first 3 or 4 pretty much was from the Walking Dead franchise, and you're sitting there and after a few minutes, after like the second or third one, says, "Okay, come on, let's move on to another show."
Right. So maybe they're gonna have a whole bunch of people besides Shane come back and just greet Rick into the.
I'm surprised the show's going on still. I lost interest after season 5.
What? Why wouldn't he go to heaven? He killed walkers. That's not what? Rick is not going to hell. Right. That's another topic altogether. See, this is going back and forth. What?
Oh, who said that? That damn ghost.
They could have.
Rick is not Ricky.
I was upset that he lied to those people and he killed those people, but so he's not going to go to heaven. This is another controversial thing. But we'll talk about this often. Yes. We will talk about this.
Do walkers
right. In the morning?
Do walkers go to heaven?
No, but the people that were walkers, maybe. I don't know. Coming from an atheist like
the walkers, they're not intelligent. They don't know better.
Harrison Ford might be.
I'm talking about going to heaven and hell, and Steampunk's an atheist. So that's interesting, right? All right, controversial stuff. We're off that topic. How about those Incredibles?
Oh yes,
right?
Yes,
number 1 of all time animation.
Love that movie.
Wow, doing pretty good. What are you gonna go see, Steampunk?
Last movie I saw was Solo.
What did you think of it?
Ooh, it was
Solo. He's hesitating. It's not that good.
It was slightly better than mediocre. It wasn't great.
Oh shit, he doesn't like it.
Well,
I can tell right away.
I gave it a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
Okay, I can see that.
6.
Here's what saved it was, believe it or not, even though some people were mad, I thought the spoiler alert, but it's been out for a while. But I thought the ending with Darth Maul kind of saved it. It made it more interesting. The beginning of the movie the pacing was off. You could tell it had more than one director because there were some scenes that were really goofy. There were some scenes were really goofy. Then it slows down and gets really boring. And then there's pacing issues that are really troublesome. You're introduced to these characters, and then they just die 5 minutes
Yeah.
later, and it's like, well, what's the point of
Was
introducing?
Darth Vader in this?
Darth Vader was not in it. Darth
No, he
Maul
wasn't
was. Darth Maul was in it. That was surprising because
that was smooth. I loved how they introduced him, though. That was a good way of
Was
introducing
it
him.
the same actor though, or was it just a computer?
Yeah, it was the same.
it's
Really?
the same actor.
I think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Ray Park. Ray Park's got a
Yep.
movie credit for playing Darth Maul.
Really?
Yes,
Yep.
really.
How long was it?
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds? Wow.
So what it is the twist at the end of the movie. Kira, that's her name, right? Kira,
Right. Yeah.
Amelia Clark. Anyway, the love interest of Han Solo. Okay, after after her boss gets killed, after she murders her boss, and then she takes over, and then she has to report to his boss to let her know that she's now running the organization locally. And that's the twist at the end. You're like, who's she communicating with? And then you find out it's Darth Maul, and you see Darth Maul as a hologram, and they talk for about 30 seconds, and that's it.
Oh,
But
shit.
it's almost like a teaser for another movie.
Yeah, and to me,
But Ray Park didn't voice though Darth Maul, right?
Ray Park didn't voice it. It's the actor from the Clone Wars that voiced it.
Oh,
From Clone Wars and Rebels. But Ray Park did the body acting.
wow.
And it looked like Darth Maul, and it was the first time you'd seen him on the big screen since the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd seen him in Clone Wars and saw him in Rebels, but not in Phantom Menace. So that was really neat. But I didn't like the pacing issues. The movie dragged on. There's a lot of worthless characters.
So you're saying this takes place after Phantom Menace, though? So that's saying that
This takes place, I would say, between episodes 3 and 4.
So in other words,
it takes place definitely before Rogue One.
Yeah.
So in other words, they're confirming that Darth Maul didn't die.
Yep.
In Phantom Menace.
Yeah, they are confirming that Darth Maul didn't die. You actually see his robot legs in the hologram.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay.
But the thing is the Han Solo movie bombed, so I don't know if that's going to cancel his, him appearing in another movie because the movie has already lost money.
And I guess it's canon that Ben Kenobi kills him, though.
Rebels is canon. It is canon that Ben Kenobi kills him, so we already know what happens to Darth Maul. Kenobi kills him on Tatooine in one swift stroke.
Mm.
But it's like the shortest fight scene in Star Wars.
That's what people kept joking about on one thing.
Mm.
But I mean, the movie had some flaws. I didn't like the way they introduced Han Solo's name. Like he goes to the Imperial recruiter. He goes to the Imperial recruiter. Well, what's your name? Han. Well, where's your family from? Oh, I don't have any. Oh, you're Han Solo then. And he puts Han Solo in the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really dumb. I didn't like that. I didn't like the actor playing Han Solo. He just wasn't convincing to me as Han Solo.
That's what a lot of people were saying.
I had mixed feelings about it, but I mean, it was entertaining. I'm glad I went to see it on the big screen. I would give it a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. It's definitely better than Last Jedi because The Last Jedi was dog crap.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Total dog crap.
Wow. Okay.
Rogue One is still the best Disney Star Wars today. I would say that's still my favorite.
I would agree with that. And then we got some other news that Sharon, because you can't. What do you call it? We got other news that there may be an Optimus Prime movie.
I hope not. I'm so sick of Transformers. I lost interest in Transformers after the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I think we're going to have an Optimus Prime movie.
And I think it'll bomb. The last couple of Transformers movies have really declined in box office.
But this is different, though, now. Now they're going to do Bumblebee. That's going to be different. They're not going to get into the whole Michael Bay stuff.
I don't know. I'm not very optimistic. They've done a really terrible job with the Transformers. That's just my opinion. I think when the movies they're based on suck, what good is it to do a spinoff?
Yeah.
But that's just me.
All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. I'll be back in a few minutes. Might do another cast. Thank you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.